the very first song that we're going to sing for you and play for you. And then I also have to think back to about 25 years when a little boy who was about 6 years old came downstairs and said, "Mommy, can you please write down this song that's in my head? I can't write music. Could you help me?" And then he sang this beautiful song, and we've been collaborating ever since. So here goes. The time had come for bringing the ark back home from the blessed house of righteous Obed-Edom. Levites played sistrums, whistles, and lyres. Well-fatted calves went up on the pyres. The time had come for bringing the ark back home. The king was dressed in an ephod of linen white. He danced and leapt, cavorting with all his might. Red hair aflame in his belief, the whole holy city a roar in relief. The time had come for bringing the ark back home. Sing with me. King David is dancing, dancing, dancing. King David is dancing, dancing before the Lord. King David is dancing, dancing, dancing. King David is dancing, dancing before the Lord. Queen Michal, the daughter of first King Saul, remained behind, observing and seeing all. She watched through the window, she did not take part, and she despised the king in her heart, as Jerusalem was bringing the ark back home. The ark was set down, safe in its sacred site, and songs and blessings joyfully filled the night. Cakes made of dates, raisins, and bread, shared till each man and woman were fed. Jerusalem was bringing the ark back home. King David is dancing, dancing, dancing. Oh, King David is dancing, dancing before the Lord. King David is dancing, dancing, dancing. King David is dancing, dancing before the Lord. Joyous king arrived at the palace gate. find Michal, her voice full of scorn and hate. It isn't seemly for one who rules to servant girls expose his royal jewels. Is this how you honor bringing the ark back home? I dance before the Lord who has chosen me above your father and over your family. And with those servant girls will I lie. You'll have no sons till the day that you die. Thus will I honor bringing the ark back home. Ah, King David is dancing, dancing, dancing. Oh, King David is dancing, dancing before the Lord. King David is dancing, dancing, dancing. King David is dancing, dancing before the Lord. King David is dancing, dancing, dancing. King David is dancing, dancing before the Lord. King David is dancing, dancing, dancing. Oh, King David is dancing, dancing before the Lord. Thank you. So, some people have gone to yeshiva like I did in central Queens, New York, and you know that they call us the people of the book, but we're the people of many books. It's endless learning and just to be literate in our tradition, and so some of these stories caught our attention and some of them didn't, and I think we're going to have a little mix of those. But this one you all know, and they do make sure that everybody knows it so well that they sing it every single year on Yom Kippur. Please sing along. Woo. Jonah, 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 in the belly of the big fish. Jonah, 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 in the belly of the whale. Jonah, 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 in the belly of the big fish. Jonah, 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 that's a fishy tale. God said to prophet Jonah, here's what you have to do. Go save those misbehaving in their folks, 'cause they're my children too. But Jonah tried to run away on a ship that sailed to sea. But God concocted such a storm, saying, you can't run from me. Jonah, 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 sing with me in the belly of the big fish. Jonah, 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 in the belly of the whale. Jonah, 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 in the belly of the big fish. Jonah, 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 that's a fishy tale. The captain saw the ship was cursed. Who sinned against the Lord? Jonah said, it's all my fault, just throw me overboard. The sea returned to quiet, not a wind nor gust nor gale. But Jonah, tossed into the deep, got swallowed by a whale. Jonah, 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 in the belly of the big fish. Jonah, 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 in the belly of the whale. Jonah, 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 in the belly of the big fish. Jonah, 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 that's a fishy tale. 3 days and nights he prayed to God, it's you I long to see. Raise me up so that I may do as you asked of me. Your compassion knows no bounds, and my faith, it knows no doubt. And so God gave him one more chance, and the big fish spat him out. Jonah, 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 in the belly of the big fish. Jonah, 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 in the belly of the whale. Jonah, 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 in the belly of the big fish. Jonah, 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 that's a fishy tale. To Nineveh with his prophecy, Jonah hastily went. In 40 days you'll be destroyed if you do not repent. And to his frank and shocked dismay, Nineveh's king replied, we hear you, we will mend our ways. And Jonah sat and cried. Jonah, 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 in the belly of the big fish. Jonah, 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 in the belly of the whale. Jonah, 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 in the belly of the big fish. Jonah, 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 that's a fishy tale. Destroy me too, old Jonah cried. I'm so angry I could die. It's not fair, old Jonah cried. Nineveh should be dead. God answered with a kikayon that grew over Jonah's head. The gourd plant gave him vital shade. It became the prophet's delight. And so God sent a tiny worm to destroy it overnight. Ha! Jonah, 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 in the belly of the big fish. Jonah, 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 in the belly of the whale. Jonah, 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 in the belly of the big fish. Jonah, 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 that's a fishy tale. Destroy me too, old Jonah cried. I'm so angry I could die. All those creatures answered God, did you create them or did I? A city full of people, children and livestock too. Should that compassion you asked of me exist only for you? Jonah, 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 in the belly of the big fish. Jonah, 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 in the belly of the whale. Jonah, 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 in the belly of the big fish. Jonah, 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 that's a fishy tale. That's a fishy tale. That's a fishy tale. That's a fishy tale. Thank you. I messed up with the lyrics though. So, maybe because my dad's name is Solomon, King Solomon has always been my absolute favorite of all the people. How many of you ever thought about this, that if you could go back in time and meet just one of the Bible characters, so to speak, who would you pick? Anyone? Ventura? Deborah, excellent choice. You would sit under the palm tree with her, wouldn't you? Anyone else? Sometimes you don't really think about this, but I do. Anyone? I've heard all kinds of names, but I would choose King Solomon. I'd play a game of chess with him. I'd talk about the demon Asmodeus with him. I would lose the chess game for sure, but oh boy, it would just be amazing. But the most famous story about King Solomon, Zachary is going to sing for you.
Two women came before King Solomon, King Solomon, King Solomon. Two women before King Solomon, King Solomon the wise. One held a newborn baby boy, baby boy, baby boy. One held a newborn baby boy, and tears were in her eyes. The babe is mine, King Solomon, King Solomon, King Solomon. This babe is mine, King Solomon, King Solomon the wise. 3 days ago I gave birth to him, gave birth to him. 3 days ago I gave birth to him. The other woman said she lies. He's really my son, King Solomon, King Solomon, King Solomon. He's really my son, King Solomon, King Solomon the wise. The women argued back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. The women argued back and forth with loud and angry cries. Fetch my sword, said King Solomon, King Solomon, King Solomon. Fetch my sword, said King Solomon, King Solomon the wise. And I will cut the babe in two, the babe in two, the babe in two. And I will cut the babe in two pieces of equal size. Yes, cut him in half, the first woman said, the first woman said, the first woman said. Yes, cut him in half, the first woman said, and we both shall compromise. No, 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 King Solomon, King Solomon, King Solomon. No, 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 King Solomon, King Solomon the wise. No, give him to her, the other woman cried, the other woman cried, the other woman cried. No, give him to her, the other woman cried, or else the baby dies. You are the mother, said Solomon, King Solomon, King Solomon. You are the mother, said Solomon, King Solomon the wise. You'd rather give your son to another, your son to another, your son to another. You'd rather give your son to another, for such are a true mother's ties. And all were amazed at King Solomon, King Solomon, King Solomon. And all were amazed at King Solomon, King Solomon the wise. And all were amazed at Solomon, King Solomon, King Solomon. And all were amazed Dad Solomon, King Solomon the wise.
So this is kind of like, just making sure the crazy little ballads here. So, as I said, in Hebrew school, we had to pay a lot of attention during Bible studies, during the study of the prophets, during the study of the laws of the holidays, the stories, how to be kosher, the proper way for girls to be, very modest, and things like that. But every so often, there was a story that we would come across in the course of the lessons, and the teachers would just shut the book and give us extra recess or do something to totally distract us. So naturally, when the teacher wasn't around, we grabbed the book back and we looked. And this is one of those stories. Zachary is going to be playing for you an instrument directly from Zimbabwe. It's called an umbira, and he plays it with his thumbs. Do you want to demonstrate for a second? Can you hear? Judah was chief, the head of his tribe, master of livestock and land. He chose Tamar for his firstborn son who sinned and was struck by God's hand. Who sinned and was struck by God's hand. Judah gave Tamar to his second son Onan, who spitefully spilled out his seed. He did not think it fair to give his brother an heir, and God punished him for his deed. And God punished him for his deed. The third son was young. Judah told her to wait, for to him she was bound by tradition. But years and years passed, and she was not asked to assume her rightful position. To assume her rightful position. Now Judah took a friend and went up to Timnah. The sheep shearing time had begun. Tamar, who had heard, still had not gotten word that she would get Shelah, his son. That she would get Shelah, his son. And so Tamar realized that she might not ever be given just what she was owed. So she dressed like the best of a woman of pleasure and went out to sit in the road. And went out to sit in the road. When Judah passed by, Tamar caught his eye, unrecognized under her veil. He asked for one night of love and delight, and what cost it would entail. And what cost it would entail. What would you give me? Tamar asked of Judah. A yearling, he said, of my sheep. And she said, till that day that your staff you can pay, your cord and your staff I will keep. Your cord and your staff I will keep. That night she conceived, and at dawn hurried home, leaving behind not a trace. And Judah's friend could not find, with payment in kind, the woman with the veiled face. The woman with the veiled face. A few months then passed, and Judah was told Tamar's belly was bulging with shame. He roared, "Build a pyre and set her on fire, for she is surely to blame. For she is surely to blame." Tamar was led out to face her accuser. In her hands were a staff and a cord. The father is he whose belongings these be. Do you recognize them, my Lord? Do you recognize them, my Lord? And Judah, confronted, did not turn away. That he wronged her, he did not deny. She is surely the one who deserves my son, and she is more righteous than I. She is more righteous than I. Yes, she is more righteous than I. Thank you. This is a lot of fun, but thank you to this lovely audience and to our Zoom audience. You know, there's a lot of discord in the Bible, which we do in D minor. That was a pretty bad joke. Okay, we're not going to do this one in for the musicians out there. We're not doing this in D minor. But I think you'll enjoy this as a little brother versus brother, and you know who we're talking about. Mm-hmm. Let me get a sip of.
Feed me some of that red stew, and I will sell my birthright to you. I swear it with your hand beneath my thigh. I'm a man of might, of appetite. I hunt my prey all day and night, and I'm so hungry now that I could die. What have you done with me, my own twin brother? What have you done with the help of our mother? You took advantage of a man who could not see. You dressed in skins, you roasted game. You answered him when he called my name. You stole the blessing our father meant for me. Feed me some of that red stew, and I will sell my birthright to you. I swear it with your hand beneath my thigh. I'm a man of might, of appetite. I hunt my prey all day and night, and I'm so hungry now that I could die. The war inside the womb was real. I got out first, you grabbed my heel. Our father loved me, but our mother loved only you. What's this curse, brother on brother? We trick or worse, try to kill each other. When will there be peace between us two? Feed me some of that red stew, and I will sell sell my birthright to you. I swear it with your hand beneath my thigh. I'm a man of might, of appetite. I hunt my prey all day and night, and I'm so hungry now that I could die. Maybe some of that red stew, and I will sell my birthright to you. I swear it with your hand beneath my thigh. I'm a man of might, of appetite. I hunt my prey all day and night, and I'm so hungry now that I could
die. Luckily, we have our twins here, Zachary's younger siblings, and they don't fight like that. He just gives in. Right, John? He sighs, and you know it's true. And I want to give a shout out to the Temple Shalom members. My husband's the rabbi at Temple Shalom up in Auburn, Maine, and it's nice to be down in the big city, Boston. So if anyone has any questions, you want to say something now? Do you want to wait till the end? We can have a little discussion.
Maybe at the end.
Maybe at the end, okay. All right, well, this is how it all began. Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. Through your masks, I need you to sing that part. Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. New and naked and naive. Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. New and naked and naive, touch that tree and you will grieve. Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. New and naked and naive, touch that tree and you will grieve. Oh, how that serpent did deceive. Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. New and naked and naive, touch that tree and you will grieve. Oh, how that serpent did deceive. One bite and knowledge you'll achieve. Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. New and naked and naive, touch that tree and you will grieve. Oh, how that serpent did deceive. One bite of knowledge you'll achieve. God called down and God was peeved. Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. New New and naked and naive, touch that tree and you will grieve. Oh, how that serpent did deceive. One bite and knowledge you'll achieve. God called down was God was peeved. Your nakedness you now perceive. Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. New and naked and naive, touch that tree and you will grieve. Oh, how that serpent did deceive. One bite and knowledge you'll grieve. Your nakedness you now perceive. God called down and God was peeved. Now you both will have to leave. Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. New and naked and naive, touch the tree and you will grieve. Oh, how that serpent did deceive. One bite and knowledge you'll achieve. Your nakedness you now perceive. God called down and God was peeved. Now you both will have to leave the cold hard earth. You'll have to heave. Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. New and naked and naive, touch the tree and you will grieve. Oh, how that serpent did deceive. One bite and knowledge you'll achieve. Your nakedness you now perceive. God called down and God was peeved. Now you both will have to leave the cold hard earth. You'll have to heave, and you'll have pain when you conceive. Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. Last verse. New and naked and naive, touch the tree and you will grieve. Oh, how that serpent did deceive. One bite and knowledge you'll achieve. Your nakedness you now perceive. God called down and God was peeved. Now you both will have to leave the cold hard earth. You'll have to heave, and you'll have pain when you conceive. Your innocence you can't retrieve. Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. One more time, sing with us. Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. Thank you. So we just have a couple more, but it's so nice to finally be able to share them. We were supposed to do this 2 years ago, and now, you know what? It's a little easier to watch concerts from Zoom, so hi. We do it too, but it's nice to have some people out here on this crazy day. So we're going to do something a little different. As you know, probably, Zachary is a wonderful saxophone player. Can I say it? Okay, if you get on a Subway Sax Battle, just YouTube Subway Sax Battle, there's like 20 million hits for Zachary playing on the subways in New York City. I mean, there's a lot of people there, but still, 20 million. It's crazy. All right, give me 1 second to strum this thing. See, guys, I remember to use this mic. recognize this is one of the most famous stories in the Bible. Of all the king's men, Daniel was the favorite one. Of all the king's men, Daniel was the favorite one. And all those jealous men wanted Daniel dead and done. So they threw young Daniel into the lion's den. Yeah, they threw young Daniel into the lion's den. And they never thought they'd see young Daniel again. Well, that night God closed the mouth of each hungry beast. Yeah, that night God closed the mouth of each hungry beast. And the next night those jealous men were the lion's feast. Daniel, you have the God that's true. He said, Daniel, Daniel, you have the God that's true. May he always rescue me, just like he rescued you. Into the lion's den. Yeah, they threw young Daniel into the lion's den. And they never thought they'd see young Daniel again. As you said, it's a weird duet, the sax and the uke, but
Yeah.
kind of fun.
Bet they never heard that combination before.
So we're going to need you to sing this with us too. You know, there's not that much feminism going on in the Bible. I mean, it's kind of one of those things where you don't really have all that many women mentioned. There are the top, the matriarchs, Miriam, even Elisheva, which is my Hebrew name, was mentioned one time as the wife of Aaron, the priest, the high priest. So that's why she got a mention. But there are 5 sisters who get a big story about them in the Bible. I'm going to shut this off, put this here. And they are the 5 daughters of Zelophehad in Hebrew and Zelophehad in English. I like the tzadi of the Zelophehad, and my daughter over there, her name is in Yiddish is Symbol, so she gets a tzadi on her. She can get a little charm necklace with a little tzadi on it. It's a pretty cool letter, I think. but I think you'll like this one. It's not fair, Moses, please take a stand. Don't deny our family our promised land. We might be girls, but we should inherit too. Come on, Moses, ditch that patriarchal vibe. We promise we'll choose husbands only from our tribe. And even God says it's the right thing to do. We're the 5 brave daughters of Zelophehad, and we want to honor our righteous dad. We're Mala, Noah, Hogla, Milcah, and Tirzah. We're the 5 brave daughters of Zelophehad, and we want to honor our righteous dad. We're Mala, Noah, Hogla, Milcah, and Tirzah. We're standing our ground, we want to stay right here, so our Holy Father's name doesn't disappear. He had no sons, but still he was a godly man. We know that our chances are a bit remote, but it's not like we're asking for the right to vote. And we'll still be part of the great Manasseh clan. We're the 5 brave daughters of Zelophehad, and we want to honor our righteous dad. We're Mala, Noah, Hogla, Milcah, and Tirzah. We're the 5 brave daughters of Zelophehad, and we want to honor our righteous dad. We're Mala, Noah, Hogla, Milcah, and Tirzah. Come on, Moses. 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 Come on, Moses, and you are liable to look all progressive in your brand new Bible. Come on, Moses. Come on, Moses. We're 5 brave daughters of Zelophehad, and we want to honor our righteous dad. We're Mala, Noah, Hogla, Milcah, and Tirzah. We're 5 brave daughters of Zelophehad, and we want to honor our righteous dad. We're Mala, Noah, Hogla, Milcah, and Tirzah. I belong to the tribe of Dina. I belong. I belong to the tribe of Dina. I am proud to tell her tale. I belong to the tribe of Dina, 13th tribe of Israel. I belong to the tribe of Dina. I am proud to tell her tale. I belong to the tribe of Dina, 13th tribe of Israel. I will walk among the people. I will walk with light and ease. I do not see any strangers. I will love just who I please. I belong to the tribe of Dina. I'm proud to tell her tale. I belong to the tribe of Dina, 13th tribe of Israel. I will raise my voice in protest. I will raise my daughter strong. I will sing my own tradition. I will sing my mother's song. I belong to the tribe of Dina. I'm proud to tell her tale. I belong to the tribe of Dina, 13th tribe of Israel.
Shimon,
I belong.
Levi,
I belong.
Judah,
I belong.
Yisachar,
I belong.
Zebulun,
I belong.
Dan,
I belong.
Naphtali,
I belong.
Gad,
I belong.
Asher,
I belong.
Joseph,
I belong.
Benjamin,
I belong, but I belong to the tribe of Dina. I'm proud to tell her tale. I belong to the tribe of Dina, 13th tribe of Israel. I belong to the tribe of Dina. I'm proud to tell her tale. I belong to the tribe of Dina, 13th tribe of Israel. 13th tribe of Israel. 13th tribe of Israel. Thank you. Well, we're going to give you some song sheets to sing with our finale because it's sort of a whole trip through the Bible. We have, I think, enough for everybody. And for the people at home, you'll just sing with us somehow. Yeah, thank you. If anyone has any questions or anything, if you want to ask some weird stuff, mother-son duo. Some of you came in a little later, but we started doing this when I found some disturbing stuff in the Bible, and I said, you know what? Let's just sing about it. And so if you are familiar with the Bible, you probably know all these stories, and I think they're good because I think if we have a common set of stories, it makes it easier to talk to each other sometimes. So we all have the same references. And when I read about Jacob, who's one of my least favorite characters in the Bible, yeah, I know, seconded only by Joseph, but you know, he's got some redeeming qualities too. Everyone has redeeming qualities. I'm a 5th grade teacher now. I tell my kids in the characters in the stories we read, find something good. Find something good. You can always find something good in people. But this concept of the dream and the ladder really spoke to me. So I would like you all to sing it. And we have a nice little gospel rhythm. I have some shakers if anyone wants. Want some shakers? Oh, you know what I have? John, would you come here and play the Stump Fiddle?
Oh, yeah.
Check this out. I'm going to put my bow on for this occasion. This is my... Charlie, want to come and do a shaker? You're going to go like this. This is actually called a Stump Fiddle, and it is named after a Mr. Stumpf. Onomatopoeic, whatever. Here, like that, and don't step on my violin. Just right there is good. Charles, come sit next to me. So I have, over here? Yeah. I have 3 of my 5 children with me, which is very nice and kind of a delight. Johnny, Charlie, these are the twins. Birthday tomorrow, so we might have to... Hey, let's do that first.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Way to embarrass Johnny. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Johnny and Charlie. Charlie and Johnny, because they were born at the exact same second. Johnny and Charlie. Happy birthday to you. I'm going to hear about this in the car ride home. Do you have any? Yeah, we're good. Okay. So, let's sing along. That's good. Boom, boom, boom. Nice and slow. Good. Just like you did for my old father Jacob, build me a ladder too. So when I reach the end of my road, I can climb right up to you. One more time. Just like you did for my old father Jacob, build me a ladder too. So when I reach the end end of my road, I can climb right up to you. Don't need Eve's apple from Eden. Don't need Noah's animals 2 by 2. Don't need salt from poor Lot's wife or the Tower of Babel. Hullabaloo, just like you did for my old father Jacob. Build me a ladder too. So when I reach the end of my road, I can climb right up to you. One more time. Just like you did for my old father Jacob, build me a ladder too. So when I reach the end of my road, I can climb right up to you. Don't need Mother Sarah's beauty. Don't need Father Abraham's knife so sharp. Don't need Joseph's coat of many colors. Don't need King David's harp. Just like you did for my old father Jacob, build me a ladder too. So when I reach the end of my road, I can climb right up to you. Just like you did for my old father Jacob, build me a ladder too. So when I reach the end of my road, I can climb right up to you. Don't need the strength of Samson or Solomon's wisdom of old. Don't need that whale that swallowed poor old Jonah or Esther's crown of gold. Just like you did for my own father Jacob, build me a ladder too. So when I reach the end of my road, I can climb right up to you. One more time. Just like you did for my old father Jacob, build me a ladder too. So when I reach the end of my road, I can climb right up, 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 climb right up to you. Thank you. Thank you to Boston Synagogue for having us. Thank you to you at home for watching, and thank you to this lovely audience. Wow. Let's take a bow, Johnny, Charlie. So I'm the proud mom, Lisa Mayer, my son Zachary. I wrote the lyrics of these songs. Zachary wrote the music. So boy, oh boy, it's a lot of nachas for me to have a son who can write music like that. And Johnny and Charlie are actually fiddlers. Next time they'll come, they'll bring their fiddlers. So the fiddles. But in the meantime, they have a bar mitzvah and bat mitzvah to study for, so they're kind of busy. But thank you so much, and I think that we have some treats and spirits, and I'd love to get to know you a little bit. So I'll put my mask on and come on up. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you. Forget my mask, which I thought I found it. Oh, thank you.
That thing is heavy.